Overtime!
You guys, this is it, the zenith of JAMMA January, and we made it. You know, at the beginning of this month, we set out a goal to get 2 cabinets set up as JAMMA cabinets that we could easily swap out as many JAMMA PCBs as we want. And you know, I think we accomplished our goal. We've got a vertical cabinet here. We've got a horizontal cabinet over here. They're both working. They're both pretty much good to go. And yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun, you know, in the coming months and years, being able to very quickly and easily swap out JAMMA PCBs for testing and for playing them, right? We can do more live streams out here with JAMMA games, swapping them in and out on these cabinets. And I am super excited. So in this episode, we're basically going to take advantage of that. I've got a whole bunch of JAMMA PCBs over here in all these boxes and out on the workbench over here, most of which you've never seen before on this channel. And yeah, we're going to test them out today. So starting off, we've got the vertical cabinet set up here. Again, this is a Dynamo HS5. It's got a 25-inch K7400 monitor, currently oriented vertical. And my plan right now is for this to be the vertical cabinet and to use the East Coast Designs, I think it's a UV19 cabinet over there, is the horizontal. That may change. That was my original plan. You know, DonPanetta and others have been suggesting use the big 25-inch as the horizontal and use the 19-inch monitor as the vertical. So we might, you know, we might change that down the road. You know, I did get a reproduction translate marquee for Top Gunner, which is the PCB that's currently in this cabinet. I did get a reproduction translate marquee for Top Gunner. I haven't installed it yet, and I also got a piece of NOS side art that I haven't put on the cabinet yet, because I really want to figure out what's going to be the permanent setup. And I think that looks pretty good. The UV19 looks pretty good with the WWF Superstars. It's got the Golden Axe control panel overlay that kind of matches the color scheme of the Superstars marquee. So who knows? But yeah, for now, this is set up vertical orientation, and we'll test our vertical games on this. So a couple things I did since the last episode. First of all, I did install better joysticks on this control panel. I think the ones I had before were technically IL Supers, or maybe the predecessor of those. Not the greatest joysticks. I was able to scrounge out from my big old bag of joysticks. I think these are IL competition sticks, or HAP competition sticks, which are now sort of called the IL Euro sticks. Much better joystick. These are kind of remind me of like what you would find in like a NBA Jam or Mortal Kombat. You know, nice and clicky and working really well. You know, we don't have like rusty actuators, rusty levers, anything like that. So I've got that set up here, those 2 joysticks. I haven't put third buttons in yet for the 2 players, but that's okay. I did move the player 2 joystick over because this is the joystick you know, slot that it was supposed to be. For whatever reason, they had mounted those IL Super joysticks, you know, the player 2 sort of over here off in the middle, which is just weird. So eventually we'll repair this control panel. The control panel does have studs for mounting the joysticks underneath, except they had ground them down, 2 of them for the player 2. So I've got carriage bolts in there for now, but eventually we'll probably want to replace these, like fix the studs. And there's a couple different ways. There's like press studs you can put in, but we'll get this cleaned up. We'll strip it. We'll put a nice CPO on it. But for now it's okay. The other thing is, you know, we still have a little bit of work to do with this monitor. It's not perfect. I did get a replacement remote adjustment board from Paradise Arcade. You can sort of see it right here. And basically, this is exactly the same as the original, which I also have right over here. So here's the original that we replaced. I thought the pots on this weren't working that great, particularly the brightness pot. But I went ahead and installed it, and it doesn't seem to make a difference. So on the one hand, it's working perfectly, this replacement remote pot or remote board from Paradise Arcade, but it's not making a difference. So I guess it wasn't the remote board that was the issue after all. It must be something with the chassis. And so I don't have, the biggest issue with that is I don't have brightness control. The brightness pot doesn't do anything. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. I don't know if it's a chassis issue or a tube issue. Maybe I get the tube on the rejuvenator and see what's going on. I still have a bit of like a geometry, like there's a bit of a curve up here at the top right, and the convergence looks a little bit off, if you can see that. I'm guessing that's probably a yoke thing, and I don't really want to mess with it. The other thing I've noticed, and you might have seen this too, is there's a little bit of a Gauss issue in the bottom left-hand corner. And I've noticed that when I move the cabinet, see down here, there's like greenish over here. If I move the cabinet like this, it goes away. So sometimes, you know, little simple things can help with that. So yeah, all right. So why don't we go ahead and start testing some of these PCBs. We'll start with a quick, you know, play of Top Gunner. You've seen a little bit of this already, but now that I have a joystick that actually works properly, it should be a little bit better. I'll go and I'll latch, at least the center latch, to hold it in place while I play here. All right, and we will put a credit on. I think I'll do a longer playthrough as like a special bonus video at some point. Let me go ahead and turn the lights off. I want to, you know, this game doesn't have continues, and right now I've got it set to the default setting, so there's only 3 lives, and it's not the easiest game in the world. So I think what I might do at some point, wow, there's a lot of bleed from the marquee light. I think what I might do for the playthrough is set it on the easiest setting, set it to the maximum amount of lives, and one thing you can do, there's not continues, but the second player can buy in at any time. So that's a way to sort of extend the play. If you know your first player is down to their last life and you're just about to die, you can buy in with the second player, hop in, and continue from that point. So, but I'll save that sort of more longer-term playthrough, maybe for a bonus video at some point. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started with Konami's Top Gunner. All right, let's play some Top Gunner. Again, this is the arcade version of Konami's hidden gem on the NES, in my opinion, Jackal. Jackal was one of my favorite games on the NES. My brother and I used to rent it all the time. Great 2-player, simultaneous co-op gameplay. And we'll basically, you play as a Jeep, and you are going, you know, through a sort of you know, enemy territory. Whoa! And you're trying to, whoops. And you're trying to save POWs. And there's two people in the Jeep. You got a driver and a gunner, and you've got to contend with all kinds of different enemies. You've got you know, machine gun, and that only shoots straight ahead. So only up, right? There we go. Now we get that, you know, so basically the way it works, and I think it's a little bit different than in the NES game, is officers that you pick up will give you power-ups, and the regular sort of, I guess, enlisted POWs that you pick up, then you drop them off at helicopter checkpoints. So, and if you take too long, tanks will come for you. Here we go. So basically you can upgrade your secondary weapon from a grenade, which sort of is slow and gets lobbed, to a missile, and then an exploding missile, which is sort of the second level of upgrade. You gotta watch out because you get one-hit kills here, and you know, you have these little foot soldier infantry oh, see, just like that, they got me from behind because I wasn't advancing too much. Let's try to, now the button's being a little tricky. Now we're picking up a bunch of POWs here that we will eventually drop off at a helicopter LZ. And let's see, are there any guys over here? Yep, a lot more guys. Apparently this is a clown car and we can fit all kinds of people, but now we're full. So I'll only get points now from pickups. And yeah, great game, a lot of fun. And it's basically a shooter, but a shooter more in the style of like Commando or something like that. You know, vehicle-based, non-auto scroll. Well, I guess, you know, Commando's not vehicle-based, but a vertical shooter, but it's not auto-scrolling, and you can actually backtrack unlimited amounts. And yeah, so you know, like I said, you have machine guns. You gotta watch out for these tanks. There's all kinds of stuff. Oh my God, I knew that was coming. There we go, and I can try to quickly. Oh no! I didn't even make it to the first helicopter checkpoint. Anyway, that's Top Gunner. We're gonna play a lot more of Top Gunner. Like I said, I'll do a more in-depth playthrough at some point. But that's enough Top Gunner to start, because I got a whole bunch more games, whole bunch more JAMMA PCBs that we want to test out. And I'll show you how we swap them really easily. I'll go ahead and turn off the game, because you need to obviously have the cabinet off when you're swapping JAMMA PCBs. All right, we'll back up a little bit so we can open up the tray. So reach underneath, unlatch the control panel, and that's one of the things with these. A lot of these JAMMA cabinets or Dynamo cabinets have this feature where you open up the control panel and you can slide out. There's little latches in here too, actually. You can slide out this tray that has everything on it, so you can quickly and easily. Whoa. Tripod's in the way. Quickly and easily slide things up. So there we go. Here is our Top Gunner PCB. So we will detach the JAMMA harness, the JAMMA edge connector. I will unscrew board just because I had it bolted down. You know, there's other Dynamo cabs, obviously, other than the HS5 that have this feature. The HS2 has it, the HS7 has it. My Sly Spy is essentially an HS2 cabinet, although it's not really. And my Superman cabinet is a HS7, but I'm actually selling both of those, both of those cabinets. So if you're interested in picking one up, please let me know. Where am I going to put this down? I don't really have room for it. Okay, next up really quick, not super exciting, we have the bootleg, I guess, Pac-Man PCB. I can't even remember where I got this from. Was this in one of the barn find Pac-Man minis that I got? And I have to remove the key from the edge connector because this one doesn't use the key. Some PCBs don't have the sort of cutout for the key. And we'll just go ahead and position the camera like this. And we'll see what happens when we fire this bad boy up. So yeah, I think this bootleg Pac-Man PCB was in the Pac-Man mini that we pulled out of the barn when I got the Zaxxon cabinet a while back. And okay, what is this? Is this just a sync issue? Let me see what I can do with this remote board. Let's see. Vertical hold. No, that's not it. I don't think the horizontal hold, is this the horizontal hold I think is inside on the chassis. You can see what I'm talking about, right? Like it's all kinds of wacky. Now it's moving on the vertical axis too. This could be a board issue. So I'm not quite sure what the story is here. Okay, that looks good for vertical sync for the most part. Let's see if I can even access the horizontal hold. I don't really want to mess with it though. Yeah, it's way in there. Let me see if I can. I'm not going to be able. I'm not going to be able to see this unless I bust out my camera. Let me see what I can figure out real quick with this. Okay, no dice. I spent a couple minutes trying to mess with it, and I was not able to get the image locked in. I think it's a board issue. I was in the back trying to mess with the horizontal hold. I really couldn't get it moving all that well, so it might be seized up. You know, he's using my Dell's Arcade mirror clipped onto the PCB tray, and I was able to credit it up and start a game, but there's no sound at all. So I don't know. Let me try that one more time. Actually, let's see. Put a ton of credits on it. Start a 2-player game. And yeah, there's no sound at all. We put the I got the cabinet volume pot turned up high. Let me mess with the volume pot here. Yeah, no sound. So I'm guessing there's some kind of board issue. And because this is just a bootleg pack PCB, I don't want to waste any more time with it. So let's turn that off, because I have far more interesting PCBs that I want to test out. So let's remove this one, and I will put the key back into the edge connector, which goes right next to, I mean, it's obvious where it goes because it's a spot where there's no pins. And we'll put this off to the side. So this one's cool. This one you may have seen the PCB on the channel, but you've never seen it tested before. And it's kind of a beefy one here, a 3-board stack, and this is Star Force. So this PCB came out of the arcade warehouse raid, and you can't even see it. It's so big. So this is by Tehkan, Tehkan, and yeah, this is Star Force. I haven't done anything to this, except technically this is not a JAMMA PCB. So I have a Tehkan to JAMMA adapter from PCBjunkie.net. I've gotten a ton of JAMMA adapters from PCBjunkie.net, which have been great. So I've got that installed. And if you recall, the copper thieves did a lot of damage to these cabinets. So this Star Force actually came out of an Enigma 2 cabinet. Super uncommon, and yeah, they cut a couple of wires off of this thing. I mean, when I got it, this is the edge connector, the remnants of the harness. You can see they cut these wires, savage animals. But that's okay because we've got the JAMMA adapter. There's also, the way this PCB works, it's a 3-board stack, like I said. The bottom board, I guess, is the video board, because that has the video out. And this is the video out wire. Again, they cut, and that would have gone to the monitor. But the PCBjunkie.net JAMMA adapter is great because it's got these wires that come off and connect to that. So basically, it takes the video signal off of that those header pins on the video board and sends them to the adapter so that it can put them on the edge connector into the JAMMA harness to go to the monitor. So that's great. And there's you know, there's a bunch of interconnects here. There's 2 ribbon cables down here. There's 2 more ribbon cables over here. There's these sort of 4-pin wires here and 4 back here. The ones back there were cut, and so I had to, you know, fortunately it still had the connectors attached, so I was able to repair that with just some wire. So hopefully, like I said, I've never tested out this PCB. It's very tall too. I don't know if we're going to be able to close the cabinet, but let's try to attach this. So that looks okay, and let's just see. It's going to be weird, like there's not much clearance here. So here we go. We'll put you up so you can see the screen, and we'll fire this up. I don't think there's any, oh, there are some LEDs on the board, so why don't we, yeah, you can see them from there. So let me turn off the main overhead lights, and we will throw the power switch. We will keep our fingers crossed and hopefully see some sort of image for Star Force on this monitor. Here we go. 3. If I can find the power switch. 2, 1. We've got 2 green lights lit on the board. That's good. Holy smokes, this thing works right out of the box. It's a little tall. The image is a little tall. So we can deal with that. That'll be our horizontal width. So we'll turn that back just a smidge. There you go. And we'll actually move our horizontal position down a little bit, which is that direction. There we go. That is a good looking image. All right, let me get the, I'm going to close up the cabinet very carefully so as not to hit the PCB on these latches. We'll close everything up. We'll get the mirror out of the way. I'll actually screw the PCB down onto the board, onto the PCB tray, and we will play some Star Force, which is apparently an uncommon PCB. Okay, that took actually a bit longer than I expected, only because I guess the JAMMA adapter is kind of floppy the way it was sort of sitting, and when it was flat, when the tray was flat, everything was good. It had the right sort of tension on the edge connector, but as soon as I lifted up the tray and slid it in, and then tried to power it back up, it was glitching out to start. So what I ended up doing was putting in like a cable tie sort of thing to put the right kind of tension on the edge connector, and now everything's good. We're all buttoned up, and I can coin up. Coin up. There we go. Okay. And we'll start a game. I don't know if that is a glitch up there. There's some stuff over here, but I think this is, like I said, a relatively uncommon sought-after PCB. I think, there's people out there who go really crazy over shooters, and I think this is held in somewhat high regard. I believe it's the beginning of a sort of noteworthy series. I don't know if it's the Star Soldier series or what. I believe Star Force came out on the NES. Pretty sure I have it. But yeah, vertical scrolling shooter, you can move all around. I don't think I have a secondary weapon. If I do, maybe I don't have that button connected. But yeah, or I haven't earned it yet. Look at all these guys. The color palette's a bit sort of monotone. I guess it's not as bright. I mean, all the colors are there, just not as, oh, what's that? Is that a boss? Oh, I don't want to get hit. Oh, and I got hit. Okay, I guess there's a checkpoint though. So we're doing all right. I don't know what do these things get me anything and what those are. Probably should have done some research. Is that the end of that level? Are we out of Alpha Area 1? This is a boss right here. There we go. Okay. You clear A area. Next, you go into B area. Okay, is that going to be Alpha Area or Beta Area 2? Okay. And I think I looked a little bit into this. It will, oh, is that something I want? Yeah. Ooh, I powered something up. Almost like a Galaga sort of second ship. I got more heavier shooting here. I don't know what's going on though. Don't really know. But I do know I don't want to get hit. So yeah, I think the game will loop almost infinitely. Ooh. Just get harder and harder and faster. But like I said, I don't have that thing anymore now. Come on, don't get me. Okay. I think I have one more life left after I die here. Yeah, they got me. All right, my last life. And then we'll move on to the horizontal games, of which there are a few. Okay, this must be the boss for Beta Area 2. I don't really know what I do. Oh, I'm dead. Okay. Oh, maybe I should enter my initials. I doubt it'll save them. There we go, because somebody must have got a higher score than that on this. But, okay. Turn the lights on. So that's Star Force. Should I do a more in-depth gameplay video of that game as well at some point? So we'll back up here. And I'll just change the camera settings to make it a little bit more palatable. Okay, that's better for when we're not doing gameplay. So I will turn off the vertical cabinet. I'm going to unplug it. We will move on to our horizontal games. How's that? All right. Okay. Slide this in here. And oh yeah, it's been so cold out here. I mean, this was like the first day where it wasn't, you know, below freezing all day long. It's still not hot, but all right. And I got to give a special shout out. This video is a little bit delayed, not too bad, because I've been dealing with some silly homeowner stuff. I had a GFCI circuit that kept tripping and tripping and tripping, and I couldn't figure out what it was. And the Overtime Arcade private members only Discord that we have for our channel members, I was asking, you know, for advice and looking for some help sort of talking through everything. And a lot of the channel members are super helpful, especially Wayne and Sean and Charles Klein and some others, John Kawaru, just sort of talking me through what was going on. And I checked all of the outlets. Nothing was plugged in. Hopefully Superstars comes up. Yeah, WWF Superstars. But we've already played this a bunch. I feel like the monitor is not mounted high enough. It's got to go up, and the monitor's too blue. Both of these monitors still need a little bit more work. Yeah, look how blue it is, and there's all this sparkly stuff. Yeah, these monitors both need work. Anyway, there's nothing plugged into. Come on, here we go. There was nothing plugged into any of the outlets on that circuit, so it's not like there was an appliance or something. Let's tilt down so you can see what we're doing with the boards here. It's not like there was an appliance that was shorting out or anything like that. So yeah, nothing plugged in that would have been shorted, nothing like that at all. And I was just, racking my brain trying to figure out what it could possibly be, but the guys really came through, helped me talk it through, think through what was going on. And I opened up all of the outlets. There was no signs of moisture or rodent activity like chewing on wires or anything like that. Come on. And I just had, and I opened and pulled all the outlets. Turned off the circuit obviously, and 3 indoor outlets in the garage and 4 outdoor outlets. Pulled them all, and nothing. No signs of damage, nothing. And I'm just, what is going on? Is there, oh, come on. There we go. No signs of any issues whatsoever, And because usually that's kind of what's likely to blame for, with the GFCI that won't reset, right? And I'm thinking, is there some sort of, rodent damage in the walls? This is going to be sort of a tight fit here. And this edge connector doesn't look awesome. So if there's something going on, that's what I'm gonna suspect. So let's try to get this connected here. Oh, and it turns out, and it was actually Wayne that made the suggestion. Turns out there was something else on the circuit that I had forgotten about. Kind of right there, maybe. Which was, we have an outdoor pole light by our walkway outside of our garage. And yep, that was it. Once I disconnected that thing, the GFCI reset properly, and everything was good. So problem solved. So thank you, Wayne, for coming through for me, buddy, and helped me figure that out. Because now I have power in the garage again. And okay, so this PCB came out of my Irish food fight, which had been converted to a Irem Skins Game. It says Major Title 2 on the PCB on the sticker. I don't think we've tested this yet. I don't believe so, but it looks all right. So we're going to fire it up. You know, other than the edge connector is a little bit iffy, but let's go give it a try. So put our eyes up here, and we'll hit the power in 3, 2, 1. Oops, I can't even reach. Ha! I got to hit it from back here. 3, 2, 1. I don't think that's good. Nope. All right, let me, okay, let me check a couple things. I'll try to clean the edge connector a bit, and we'll give it another try in just a minute. Okay, I cleaned the edge connector. I tried to, you know, push down on all the socketed chips. The way this board is set up is weird. There are these three sets of like hard point connections between the two boards, and I don't want to disassemble all that and whatever. The other thing I did was I sprayed a little bit of deoxit on the volume pot. So here we go. Cross your fingers. We'll power it up again and see what we get. 3, 2, 1. No, that's not good. I don't know what's going on. But if I touch this, oh, but look at that. RAM okay, ROM okay. Ticket payout function is not working now. What is going on? Something's really bizarre here. I can hear a super faint, I mean, obviously this popping is super loud. I don't know what to make of this. So yeah, I mean, the game's obviously running, but that's not how it's supposed to sound, I'm imagining. So I'm gonna have to do a little bit of, let me see if I can, monitor needs to be adjusted. Let's see, can I coin it up? Let me try doing that. And you know, I want this to work. I can hear the music trying to come through. And yeah, it's letting me start a game. All right. Well, whatever. Come on. Let's get into it. The Irem Classic Championship. Can I even do anything here? And you know, I want this to kind of work out because this is a M92. Yeah, it's a, let's just, okay, I just hit some buttons. Not a terrible shot, actually. Yeah, I can hear the speech and stuff coming through. Whoop, I muffed it, or whiffed. There we go. Not bad. Might be in the sand trap, though. Nope, I missed it. Light rough. And these M92 boards, way too far. Yeah, okay, lose stroke. Yeah, I don't know how to reduce the power. I gotta go to the next hole. Okay, got one hole left. So these M92 boards are actually, you know, valuable. You can convert them to other games like R-Type Leo, and in fact, I know somebody's working on a, hopefully this is not crazy loud for you guys. I tried, I can't reduce anything, and this volume pot isn't hooked up inside the cabinet. In the heavy rough. Let's see if I can, there we go. That's actually pretty good. Somebody just released a multi-board, or is about to release a multi-board. How do I reduce the power? Let's see, can I use my, there we go. On the green, okay. Okay. Ooh. All right, I bet can I put this in? Or is it not going to let me? Oh, it'll let me. Okay. Let's see. Oh, man. Oh, it went in. Okay, double bogey. But somebody, yeah, is working on a, I'm not going to continue. Somebody's working on a multi-board for these, so there's all kinds of actually good games. You know, who wants to play Irem Skins Game or Major Title 2, especially with the sound like this? If you guys know, if anybody knows, I know Brandon from, what do you call it? Let me turn this off. Turn it back on. From, is that normal? From, I can't even think straight, from Off-World Arcade. He knows a little bit more about this generation of PCBs than I do, so maybe he'll have a suggestion perhaps on what to do with this sound. What does it come up as the name of the game? I'm wondering here. It says Skins Game, okay, and I can't stand that anymore. So let's do this. I got another surprise PCB that you guys might not be expecting, so let me go and grab that, and we'll try that one out. Okay, this next PCB that I want to test out in the horizontal cabinet is one that's actually been hiding in plain sight. It's the Ikari 3 PCB that I got in my Sidam Bosconian cabinet that I think is going to be at the top of the restoration queue once JAMMA January is all done, and maybe we'll do Fix It February. But yeah, this is an Ikari 3 PCB. So one thing I'm not going to be able to do is really play it because I don't have the rotary joysticks plugged in, and they go over here. There's an additional harness for the rotary, you know, the yellow rotary joysticks. You know, the SNKLS30 rotary joysticks allow you to go, you know, up, down, left, and right, but also rotate left and right. And I don't want to bust that all out and put that over here. I just want to see if this PCB works. So it looks like it's in relatively good shape. So let's give it a try. 3, 2, 1. We have 2 red LEDs lit on the PCB, and we've got music on the screen. Look at that. All of the tests look like they're doing okay. We'll come in a bit closer. Look at that. Are we missing a color? Are we missing green? I don't know. If we have white, that means we must have all the colors, right? The presidential candidate's child has been kidnapped? Oh no. All right, let's turn the lights off. And it's going to be not very satisfying to play if we're not able to... yeah, that looks dark. And I feel like we tested this already. I feel like we tested this before. Didn't we? All right. Let's see. Let's credit this up. Yeah, it looks dark. All right, we got a credit. And let's try playing just a little bit. Ha! They have been tricked by our false information. I feel, yeah, it's just not bright. All right, we're able to move. We got no weapons yet. I can't turn around. So let's see if I can get behind them. This was kind of the issue. I didn't, yeah, we've tested this before. And I can't, can I lure them behind me? Oh, no. Oh, no. Yeah, this is not going to be... But I mean, it's working, but I think we already knew that. I'm losing my mind. I'm starting to forget what we've tested, what we haven't tested. So let's go ahead and, well, let me turn the lights back on. Okay, but at least I now still know that it's working. What did we do last time? Did we hook up a monitor? Because I don't think I've ever taken this out of the cabinet, out of the Bosconian cabinet. But we'll go ahead and put this off to the side. So yeah, that works. We still need to test those joysticks. Where did I put the panel for it? Just right here. I'll make sure I don't step on it. Here's another one that I want to fire up again. We've seen this one before. We know this one works. But I will hear it from some people. Oh, and this doesn't have the key in the edge connector. I will hear it from some people if I don't at least fire this up. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. See if we get anything on the screen. And we do. Uh-oh. Let me see if I can fix this real quick. Okay, unfortunately, this is as good as I can get the Rastan, whatever game working. We've got garbage on the screen. Some of the sprites aren't right. I don't know what's going on. I know we had similar issues like this last time because this came in my Zaxxon cabinet that had been converted to Rastan. And look at that. It's unplayable. Like I said, I know we had similar issues like this before, and we were somehow able to resolve them, but I don't remember what it was. So, Ty, you got to tell me what I need to do, buddy, to get this thing working. So, let's turn that off. So, I got one more really special PCB to test out. You guys have not seen this before, and I'm not going to tell you the story yet of how I got this PCB, but it's this right here. And you'll recognize it looks a little bit like the Star Force one. This is actually a Tecmo PCB, and Tecmo is what Tecon turned into. So Tecon changed their name, I can't remember when, and became Tecmo, which we all know and love from Tecmo Bowl and plenty of other cool games. So we'll get that plugged in all the way. And yeah, I'll tell the story at some point on how I got this PCB, but I don't think there's anything on the board that says what it is. A bunch of Japanese and some copyright stuff. And it says Tecmo, made in Japan right there, but nothing that actually indicates what it is. So let's go and let's just see the screen. And we'll fire it up. 3, 2, 1. All right, we've got 2 red LEDs on the board. And let's see what we get on the screen. All right, so we've got test. All the tests have passed. Okay, and we'll see if we can tell what this is. We turn the lights off real quick. Can you tell what it is? Not yet. Strong Team, developed by Strong Team. Ooh, look at this. Does that look familiar at all? So, yeah. It'll tell us in a second, but you should be able to guess by now. Come on, show us the screen. Oh, it doesn't want to show us the title. Let me try to... Is that normal or is that the PCB wigging out? Is that spelled wrong? I-N-C-E-R-T coin? Wait, what's going on? Where are the sprites? So this is, what the heck is going on? So this is, let's get closer here. This is Ninja Gaiden, obviously, the arcade version, but there's no sprites. So I don't know what's up with that. See what happens if I try coining up and starting a game. Yeah, where's the text that's supposed to say Ninja Gaiden? It says Ninja in USA, and it's for some reason it's blurry on camera. But there's no character sprites or enemy sprites. Oh my gosh. Well, I already sort of preemptively did all of the things I could, think of with this. I didn't clean the edge connector, but I, reseated all the ribbon cables and, oh man, socketed chips and all that sort of thing. And didn't it say, like, it passed all the tests, right? Let's turn this off. We'll turn it on. We'll see what comes up. Garbage. RAM, ROM check. All the tests are good. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, the colors are all not quite adjusted properly. Okay. Let me try getting past this and coining up. Yeah, I'm assuming there's something missing here where it should say Ninja Gaiden. So, man, that's disappointing. And I hate, there's still no character sprites or enemy sprites or anything. And that's disappointing, and I hate to end on a down note, but I'm gonna have to leave it here. This is very close to working, and I'm not sure what's going on. Sounds are perfect. The video's good, it's missing all the character sprites. So if anybody out there has any ideas on what that, well, look, something happened. Oh, that's damage to a background sprite. If anyone has any suggestions on what I could do here, I am all ears. But yeah, I think we're gonna have to end on a down note. So look at that, there's no lives, there's just hits that you can take. Isn't that wild? It's a hard game, and it's different than the NES version, right? So we had really a couple games here. Ninja Gaiden, Star Force, and what else? Top Gunner, that all have NES versions that I think are quite different. I don't know how different Star Force is, but man, that's disappointing that Ninja Gaiden isn't working. But we'll have to figure that out at some point in the future. But yeah. So I guess that does it. A little bit disappointing at the end, but that's what happens when you're testing these PCBs sometimes. But we'll get this working at some point. Anyway, if this is your first time at the channel, welcome. I release new videos every weekend, usually on Sundays, sometimes on Mondays if I'm falling behind. So hit that subscribe button if you don't want to miss any of them. Make sure you do everything that the YouTube algorithm wants you to do. Like, share, comment, all that good stuff. Do you remember playing any of these games? Do you have any suggestions? Why does that say insert, I-N-C-E-R-T? That's so weird. And if you want to support the channel, a couple ways to do it. I have a merchandise shop. You can always leave a super thanks, which is like a super chat before a regular video. I do live streams. We've got a live stream coming up for the Coin Jam podcast, the January episode coming up soon. I think it'll actually be the first week of February. But the best way to support the channel is, and you've heard me talk about this a bunch, guys, become a channel member. Click that join button down below to learn more about what it means to become an Overtime Arcade channel member. You get to join over 100 awesome people. This is an incredible community. Not only do you get to support the channel, but you also get access to some really awesome perks in exchange for your $1.99 donation a month. You get access to our private members-only live stream. So we'll do a live stream before the Coin Jam podcast at some point in January. You get early access to all new videos, typically about 24 hours in advance, although this one I think it'll hit the public release, but we're going to be a little bit late with the early access. But most importantly, best of all, you get access to our private members-only Discord server. Super active, a lot of fun, really supportive, really positive. Just, people sharing their love for the hobby, picking up games, working on them, playing them, that sort of stuff. So yeah, click that join button down below to learn more about the Overtime Arcade channel membership program. But I think that'll do it for this episode. A little bit disappointing, but we did okay. We got several fully working PCBs and a couple of partial ones that'll give me something to tinker with in the coming weeks and months. So yeah, with that, I'll wrap it up here. As always, thanks for watching Overtime Arcade. I'm Charlie, and I'll see you next time.
Overtime!